Hey there, my gossip pals. It is not at all like me to be this late at night, still up, still wide awake, still in makeup and clothes. But you know what I've been doing? I worked all day at my job while listening to a court case because you know that's what I do. Also, I was working on my merch store, but we'll get to that in a minute. I spent the day listening to the state of Florida versus Travis Rudolph. I have so many feelings about this case. I have so many thoughts about this case. Here's the thing. So normally you'll go into a case and you have some idea by opening statements of what's going on, right? You've decided whose team you're on. You've decided who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Or maybe you're like, maybe I'm still trying to decide. You know what I decided in this case? Everyone is terrible. When I gave up the idea that there was going to be a side for me to root for, then I could just relax and enjoy the madness. This case is filled with shenanigans. Okay, so we started the day with Dominique Jones. She is the sister of the boy oh gosh, this case is so confusing. How will I explain it? Okay, so if you watch trial day one, then you know who all these people are. Dominique is the very dumb sister. Is she around here? She thinks she's smart. She's not. She's like, well, I am very intelligent. You know what a real sign of intelligence is? Not having to tell people that you're intelligent. Also, she said that she was very competitive and they were playing Uno, which is a very hard game. I think I learned to play Uno in the second grade. And I used to play it with my cousins with 2 or 3 decks of cards. We would just sit and just skip, take 4, reverse. It's not that hard. But she apparently is good at Uno because she's intelligent. Okay, good for her. She was late to court, though. Now, listen, Miss Dominique was not concerned with getting to court on time. She was not concerned with holding up the whole judicial process. Her hair was perfection. Her nails were done. And she was like, well, and apparently she had a cosmetic procedure, which was part of the problem in this case, but she was not comfortable discussing what the cosmetic procedure was. So the whole time I was like, what you have done, girl? Was it your lips? Because your lips look like they're done. Did you get your nose done? Did you get a brow lifts and Botox? What's going on? Come to find out, she had a Brazilian butt lift. Now, do I know for a fact she had a Brazilian butt lift? No, I have done research. And by research, I mean, I talked to other people on the internet and I just decided for myself. That is what passes for research here on the YouTubes, because I could just say anything and people will think it's true. And so I have decided, based on my research, that she had a Brazilian butt lift. So what she did was she went to her boyfriend's house. No, she had not seen him in a month. Yes, he had been out of town. But she was like, we were still together. I still loved him. We was going to go to the movies after we had some Patron and played Uno. Okay, fine. But then he went outside to look at something with his brother. She looked through his phone and found evidence that he was off with other women during the 30 days that they did not see each other. So she lost her ever-loving mind. She's scratching and fighting and they get into like a physical altercation. And on the Ring doorbell, you can see her hitting him in the side of his head with her fist. Miss Dominique, girl, you were entirely in the wrong. So wrong. And then the fight ended up in the front yard and she tripped and fell on her new Brazilian butt lift. Oh, that butt did her right, though. She bounced right back up. It was like boing. And then she was back on her feet and she continued the fight and went back in the house. And then when she finally left, she took a brick and smashed out his car windows. As one does. I don't know. Listen, I have never been in a relationship that required me to use a brick upside somebody's car. Now, I have been in relationships where I thought, should I smother him in his sleep? You know what? I'm going to just put rat poison in his morning coffee. You know what? Even better than that, I'm going to leave, because in lieu of murder or property damage, I just leave relationships. It's not that complicated. Also, that level of passion, you're not getting that level of passion from me if you done did me wrong. Now, if you did me right, I'll give you all kinds of passion that you could enjoy. Oh, I can do the full Cirque du Soleil. Oh, I'm old and my knees are bad, but I know things. I learned I was a loose woman in my youth. Don't tell nobody. But I used to get up to things and I still learn some of those tricks. You know how like in the yoga class you can modify, put like a little brick down or like a little extra padding under your knees or something to make it work out? I can still get down like that. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so all of that passion to me, that's giving that person too much energy. If somebody is treating you bad, you know what you pay them? Dust. Nothing. You ignore them. You pretend that they don't exist. And then you live the best life humanly possible. But that's not what Miss Dominique did. But she was very young. She was what? 22, 23. I might have broke a window when I was 22, 23. I doubt it because I've never been a break a window kind of girl. But I would talk bad about your mama. Oh, I would drive past your house. I might leave a flaming bag of dog doodle on your front porch. Oh, yeah. I was all about that life. But she was 22, 23. So she did what you do. And she called her boyfriend screaming and crying that he had beat her up. And she wanted her brother to go to his house and shoot up his ish. That is what she said. She said in her text message, he's a dead man walking. Okay. And her brother, who was an amateur gun dealer, rounded up all 65 of his friends and rolled up on this dude to have a talk at midnight, banging on his door, demanding that he come outside. And so he came outside and it was a fist fight. And then this NFL player, oh yes, he was training to be in the NFL, beat up this NFL player and his very mousy small little brother beat up these four dudes all at once. So the four dudes were like, you know what? We gonna go. You have beat our behinds thoroughly, so we gonna go. So they go to leave, but the NFL player was still mad. So he went in the house and he got his gun and he just fired on the car and fired on the car and fired on the car. Now, was firing at least 39 shots into a fleeing car the right decision? No. This gentleman, much like Dominique, should have just paid them dust. Let them take their behind beating and go on home. But nah. He filled that car with hole. He turned it into some proper Swiss cheese. In the Swiss cheesing of the car, he also turned a couple of their bodies into Swiss cheese, resulting in murder, which is why we are here today. So the dude was wrong for getting the gun. The other dudes were wrong for showing up on the front porch. Everybody is terrible. But oh, Miss Cute Dominique with her new booty, she was up there like, sorry, I'm late, Judge. So what questions do you have for me? And so the defense attorney was asking her questions. Oh, because she is the state's witness. I'm like, okay, state, this is all y'all. This is the best you had. Okay. So the defense attorney got up and asked her questions today. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Because Miss Dominique, oh, she don't have time for nobody's mess. Yes, she was in the wrong. Yes, she was Googling on her phone, can I be arrested for being an accessory after the fact? Oh, yeah, she did all that. But she was like, Miss Dominique asked as many questions as that lawyer asked her. And at one point she turned to the judge and said, that lawyer is being argumentative. Miss Dominique, I'm going to need you to just answer the questions. On a couple of occasions, the prosecution stopped and went up and had a little chat with her to get her to calm the heck down because she was out of pocket. Hardcore, out of control, way out of pocket. And she was like, well, let me tell you, the interesting thing about Miss Dominique is that sometimes when I see a girl with this much sass and this little education, I expect her to be like either super country or super ghetto or super something that I would not relate to. The thing about her is that she's dumb as a doorpost, but she had a decent vocabulary. She was cute. She was articulate when she wanted to be. Oh, but she would code switch in a minute. And she was not scared of nobody. And she was going to get up there and she was going to let you know. And she was going to let the judge know. And she was going to let everybody in there know because nobody disrespects her. You know, people who are always worried about being disrespected, they are ironically the most disrespectful people you could find, because somebody who's that concerned about respect, it's because they don't give it, but they expect to receive it in return. So after a very long day of examination, cross-examination, and redirect, Miss Dominique, the real estate agent who we couldn't find proof where she ever sold a house, ever at all. I want to know how she paid for her new booty. But whatever, that's not my business. Oh, and so that we don't forget, Miss Dominique, in this 1.5 year long relationship with this NFL player, she had a husband. she had a whole entire husband over at her house that she conveniently forgot to mention. He slipped her mind. And she said, they said, well, did you tell Travis, your boyfriend, that you had a husband? She said, no, that was not my personal business to tell. Ma'am, if it was not your business to tell, whose business was it to tell that you had a husband? She was like, well, he never asked me. The fact that you was practically living with him and his mama and his sister and at the house all the time, don't you think you would have mentioned the husband? She did not divorce her. She was like, well, I was separated and I thought that was a thing. I just figured, he just was, it was not my place to share that. Ma'am, it was exactly your place to share that. Oh, she was strong and wrong. Strong in her conviction and 100% wrong. So it was after this whole situation jumped off that Travis realized, wait, I shot and killed somebody over a chick with a husband? I might be losing my NFL career. This young man has lost his life over some foolishness, a brick through the car window, and she has a husband that it is not her place to mention. Okay. So then the next witness was one of the friends of Dominique. Dominique's brother went to this dude's house to defend her honor. And he was about as bright as Dominique. That is to say, not very. And I'm not going to say this young man lied. I'm going to say he did not have a close relationship with the truth in all of his answers. Some of them were truth adjacent. Some of them ain't know nothing about the truth. But okay, he was trying to make his point. And here's the thing. I was watching this case on Churchwell Chart, Brandy Churchwell's. Hey, Brandy girl, you're not watching this, but I love me some Brandy Churchwell. She's amazing. I was watching this on her live stream. This is what's interesting to me. While these people were very annoying, and in a lot of states, they also would have been arrested for getting this whole ball rolling. They were not arrested. And some of the things that they said, I recognized as like the code of the streets. For example, yes, these dudes showed up at your house at midnight banging on the door and they expected a fist fight and they initiated a fist fight. And when they lost the fist fight, they left. From what I understand, because I know you're shocked to know I am not from the streets. I grew up in the suburbs, but my husband, he grew up in the hood. And so from what I understand from watching TV with him is you go to a fight and you have your fight. And when the people surrender, you go and let them go home. And that's the end of it. You don't be a sore loser and then come back later with a gun. Although obviously I'm a true crime fan, so I know plenty of people do that. But when these dudes surrendered and was like, okay, we out, we're going to let you have this fight. They kept saying, you got this, you got this. Okay. They were leaving. It was just bad form. Is there like a mismanners for when you get in a fist fight? Is there etiquette for when to bring a gun, not bring a gun, which gun you should exactly bring? And so I don't know if that's like code of the street, code of the hood or whatever. But the people on the live stream I was watching were like, they were wrong. They were wrong. When they went for a fight, they should have expected this guy to bring a gun. Yeah, but that's bad manners. I mean, I don't know. Hints from Heloise. I don't know who it is that writes these rule books, but I think that the dude who brought the gun to the fist fight, he was in the wrong. But child, knock my headphones out. Everybody was in the wrong on this one. So I did not see things the same way as the good people over there at Churchwell Church, but that's fine. We could all have differing opinions. The longer the day went on and the more I realized that I was not going to like anybody in this trial, I felt much less invested. And the funny thing was that if the prosecutor gave a wrong gave a wrong objection, the judge would be like, no, what you meant to say was beyond the scope. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, so this is like remedial court? This is a remedial murder trial? You just get like hints? Do you have flashcards to tell you what you can object to and what not? I do not know at all what's going on. Ooh, I don't know what's going on in my house. Somebody just came home. My dogs are losing their minds. Dogs, calm down. He lives here. Anyway, so the case rolls on tomorrow. Late in the afternoon, the mother of the dead boy testified, and they didn't put that up on the Law and Crime. You can watch this case on Law and Crime if you want to. I believe that it's still over there. So it'll be interesting to hear what the dead kid's mother has to say about this entire situation. She, of course, she is testifying for the prosecution. You know what? I'm not so worried about what the prosecution has to say to her. What could the defense possibly say to this woman? Everybody in this case is a terrible human being, except for the lawyers. I actually like the lawyers on both sides. The regular humans on both sides, trash. Each and every one of them. I should maybe whisper that because they all still got guns, and none of them are in jail right now. So they are not people that I would want to run into anytime, any place, for any reason. We'll leave it like that. But bottom line, the case rolls on. It remains interesting. And then a word about merch. So I'm playing around with some merch. I don't know the quality of any of this stuff. I just you can make stuff online and then pop it in the merch store. So I have samples on the way to me. And what I would like to do ideally is buy the samples, make sure they meet my exacting standards, and then put them up for sale. But people express an interest. So there's a merch store somewhere. I don't even know that I know how to find it. If you go to the community tab, you can find a link to the merch store. Buy what you want. If you don't like it, I can't give you a refund, but maybe the nice people over there at Printify will. I'm waiting for my samples to come in, but I am very much looking forward to sitting here and chatting with you every morning, and sometimes in the middle of the night, like right now, drinking out of my gossip, rumor, and innuendo mug, or if you're a tea fan, all the tea that's fit to spill, honey, because that is what we have over here, all the tea that is fit to spill. Okay, it's super late. It might be 9:30. Listen, I can't be up in the middle of the night like this. So I'm going to talk to y'all more in the morning. In the meantime, check out the state of Florida versus Travis Rudolph on Law and Crime. If you feel so moved, you won't have to pay that $1.99 that they was trying to charge me the other day, because you know I'm not trying to separate myself from too much of my money. And $1.99 was too much to pay for a trial that I was not even sure I wanted to watch. Okay, y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.